Hello everyone, this is KW with more blueprints, etc, etc. We had a great day yesterday where we finally got the vault key and the vault at the same time, and we got our final sanctum key and solved all the sigil puzzles and got a trophy for doing so. This one right here. So, I mean, we already have more than 8 trophies, so we don't actually need any more to finish the game. So now we want to solve the 8 realms in 8 months puzzle, but we do have to get to room 46 to do that. So I do start with the key card, which is nice. I can go down... I'll start by making a couple rooms here. What kind of room would be best for getting... because in order to open the antechamber, actually, making red rooms would work. Because red rooms will eventually give me the weight room, which will have a lever in it. So that's a risky strategy. I could get into the room that way. Great Hall will also have a lever into the antechamber. Secret Garden will have 2 levers. The Mechanarium will have a lever. What else would have one? There's another backup lever somewhere. Throne Room has the north lever. Don't need that. South lever is Mechanarium. Oh, no, it's not. Sorry, South lever's Weight Room and... Oh, Greenhouse. I'm not going to go for Greenhouse. Actually, going for green rooms is possible. Because I could get the broken lever in the... I'm going to go for green rooms because I can also get the conservatory doing that. So I can get the broken lever in here, which I did not, but that's okay. And then get the greenhouse elsewhere. Okay. Let's put this here. And see what I get at 75 stars. Do I get gems back? I get a key, apples... steps, twins. This is good. It gives me the cloister. Alright, that's not great. I was hoping for the thing that gives me gems. East Wing Hall. Let's start with that. Let's see if I can get the conservatory over here. Just corridor is fine. Okay, not my favorite draw. You know, for making green rooms more likely, I actually haven't seen too many green rooms show up. So that strategy did not work immediately. I don't want to use my only key right now. Okay, there's the green rooms. Great Hall is good for finding a lever. So I'm going to put it down here. Even though... I will need keys to do it. Right, I would need a key there too. So I'm going to come back with keys. So I'll find a way to get keys. Don't worry about me. Spare green room here could potentially get me the broken lever. Nope. Of course, the day when I would actually want to see the broken lever, it will not show up. Even though every other day, it is always in here, and I hate it. This will give me a gem, which is important. This will also give me a gem. You'd think I'd find the greenhouse too, considering that's a green room that appears on the edge of the map, and it's not a rare room. Dang, I don't want to use my keys yet. The weight room will open... Yeah, the weight room's probably the way to go. Yeah, I lose a lot of steps, so that's fine. Let's do this. Because now what I can do is head to... Something gives me steps here. Oh, treasure trove is just good to have to get money. I get this back. And I want this always to be on blue rooms. So there should be 90 coins here. Something like that. Sounds about right. And I want to open this. Let me once again get my notes for the treasure trove rooms. That's not open yet. So I always forget to open that up before I start playing the video. White chest, sun symbol. It is my only key, but whatever. Green memos and pink boxes are always false. I think I've seen green memos and pink boxes already. So let me note this. This is our 17th note. It's in a white chest with a sun symbol. It's a blue note, so we already know it's true. So the notes that I have found in pink boxes, I have found 2 pink boxes, only one of which has a green note in it, and it says there's no realm that flies the white flag. So I already knew that was false. Study is a good room. Kennel is a better room, because if I just dig in a room, it unlocks all the doors. Okay, I am low on steps, so I do need to do something about that. But what I'm going to do about it is go to the foundation, because I believe I can go through here. Right? Oh, no, that's not the way I want to go. Sorry, I can go through here. I don't know what I'm thinking going to the fountain. We'll go through this way. And hit the north lever down here, so I'll have a way into room 46. I won't have a lot of steps to get there, so I will have to make sure I don't screw that up. Unless I find a dining room. And I hope I do. Blue rooms are now also a little more likely because of the scepter. And I will get minimum 30 steps from a dining room. I kind of need the dining room. Otherwise, I have to just make a straight shot like this. Foundation won't have any locked doors. I'm hoping for security locked doors, really what I'm hoping for, because I don't have any real keys either. Unless I get rooms with dirt piles in them. Come on, just skip it. Thank you. It was really not working. The skip button. Okay. This could backfire. I could end up running out of steps and or require normal keys, which I don't have. But we'll see. The worst thing that happens is I have to wait till another day to get into room 46. I'm not in a rush to get there. I already know the answer to the puzzle. I just have to not forget the answer before I get there. Oof, I really am low. Hopefully there are some turnips in the dig spots in the foundation that I can grab. Oh. There we go. That'll let us use this elevator, which will take its sweet time getting down here. Actually pretty fast, but you still gotta wait. It's annoying. Nope. Turnip would be the way to go. Also, I'm not hearing the dogs barking. Is there something going on with that? This is actually the best door to be security locked because it's the direction I want to go. Pantry is good. Now I should hope this is not a locked door, because that would ruin my day. Thank you. How about this? Reading Nook has a key. That's good. And the library goes right where I want to go, so that's good. And it has an apple, so don't really need the steps anymore because I'm in. Sure, I'll take this item. Maybe it goes in the code check now. Okay, so 8 realms in 8 months. So we know we start with Orinda Ares, which is here. And we also end with Orinda Aries, which is there. So the first place he went was south, so that's going to be Araja. Then he went to Arch Aries after Araja, because he talked about the potential of train travel. And as you could see, the only places he could train travel from are Orinda and Araja, and we know that he went to Araja after Orinda. So now we know we have the places across the sea. We know that Nuance is here, and that was right before the end. And we have to go Morajai, which is here, then Vera, then Carrerica. There we go. We're in. So, what we find in here, the first thing is a certified copy, the property deed, Lord Arthur Clementine to Lady Oravai. Yeah, that's an R, that's a V. Lady Oravai of Trinsdale. Know all men by these presents that Lord Arthur Clementine, rightful owner of the land that rests in the northern range of the Reddington Mountains, doth grant and convey to the bearer of this document, Lady Oravai of Trinsdale, the land, forests, and waters of the sheer cliffs that rest in the northern shadow of the Hollyleaf Mountain, with all the rights, privileges, and appurtenances thereto belonging. Boundaries. The property of Mount Holly consists of dense woods flanked by cliff walls, irrigated by mountain springs, streams, and punctuated by several runoff waterfalls. This area is sheltered between the summit's northern slope and saddle, spanning across 80-odd acres of land. The property is situated southwest of Reddington, bounded on the south by steep crags and abutting the east by the high road to Tanner Fork. Covenants. I, Lord Arthur Clementine, covenant, promise, and agree with Lady Oravai, her heirs and assigns, that I am lawfully seized and possessed of said premises, that the same are free and clear of all encumbrances, that I have good right to sell and convey the same to the said Lady Oravai, her heirs and assigns, and that I will warrant and defend the same against lawful claims and demands whatsoever. In hand and seal I make my mark in the grand year of Fenaries 1912. Lord Arthur Clementine. So yeah, this is just the initial deed to Lady Oravai. We haven't really heard a lot about Lady Oravai yet, but she's going to come up shortly. Come on, thank you. The last will and testament of me, Herbert S. Sinclair. I, Herbert S. Sinclair of the Mount Holly estate at Reddington, do publish and declare this instrument my last will and testament, and hereby revoke all wills and codicils heretofore made by me. So this is the will we heard at the very, very beginning of the game. I declare that I am not and have never been married and have no children. So this is the will we heard at the beginning of the game, but there were some elements that were left out at the beginning that we're going to now read. First, I direct that all my debts and outstanding expenses be paid as soon after my decease as possible. Secondly, I direct all the servants and staff in my employ at the time of my death shall be granted indefinite leave to be paid out of the reserves of my estate set aside for such occasion until such a time as a new master of Mount Holly bids their return. In the event that the aforesaid reserves for this purpose are depleted before a new master of the estate is found, I direct my executor to make provisions for their future employment, and to do so in a manner that is just and equitable to all parties involved. So that's why the staff hasn't come back yet. Like, they're being paid to stay away until I'm done with whatever I want to do. Thirdly, to my faithful valet, Hartley Ruoda, I hereby gift to him the lake house in Trinsdale as a small measure of gratitude for his many years of unwavering loyalty and devoted service. I direct that my executor take such steps as are necessary to transfer ownership of the said lake house to Hartley Ruoda, and should use all reasonable efforts to persuade him to accept the same. Great. Furthermore, to my late cousin Tillen's 2 children, Courtney Farron and Rygard Farron, who have sometimes been impulsive and hasty in their actions, I grant to each a cuckoo clock set eternally on the sacred hour, for only time will tell when they are ready to slow down enough to appreciate the gifts bestowed upon them with the patience and wisdom that comes with maturity. That's harsh. In the case that Lionel Epson should return from his travels abroad, or in the event that any of his heirs should present themselves, I bequeath to him or them, as the case may be, the diary and its related key, which formerly belonged to his sister Clara Epson, which I have kept in her room and beside her grave respectfully. We've already found this, but in case you haven't found the key to Clara's diary, this tells you it's by her grave. In addition, it is my fervent desire that the gallery, along with all the artwork contained within, be bestowed upon the Reddington Museum of Art, including the sculptures, exhibits, and the entire collection of drawings by Christopher Manson, comprised of 4 pieces entitled T, P, R, and R. That's a hint for the gallery puzzles. This generous donation shall be made 1 year hence, following the date of my earthly departure, when it will be removed from Mount Holly's draft pool. I don't remember if this is actually true that it removes itself from your draft pool, but it's saying that after a year of in-game time, if you make it to day 366, the gallery disappears. Not sure how true that is, especially since there is a puzzle. Well, yeah, room 8. The room 8, in order to get to room 8, you need to get into the gallery, so it would kind of suck if the gallery disappears from the draft pool. Of course, if you can't get to room 8 by day 365, you should get better at this game. Moreover, to the Grand Cathedral of Viraja, bequeath 8 stone statues sculpted in the likeness of the 8 Ajeran angels. And I'm going to just, once again, take for posterity... Oh, do I have a screenshot of this? I think I already have a screenshot of this. Where is it? Last Will and Testament? Might be in the letters file. I just want to make sure I have it already. The will. Yes. Yes, because I will need to look at this again. So here's the order. Arinda, Lydia, Rinna, Joya, Dauja, Vea, Mila, and Draxus. These sculpted figures have been in the Sinclair tomb for multiple generations, and even though there has been much debate over their natural numeric order, they have nevertheless remained steadfast in their safeguarding of our family's secrets. I trust they will continue to provide the Cathedral of Araja that same level of stewardship. So he talks about natural numeric order. We got a numeric order from the chapel. This is the other natural numeric order that Herbert uses, and this will provide yet another code in the tomb. Yeah, I know I'm spoiling by saying that, but come on, it's kind of obvious when you read these in order. You go, oh yeah, these are the angels in the tomb. Let's try this order. Now, I don't know if we've seen enough information to know which ones are which beyond a shadow of a doubt here. Maybe I've skipped over it, because apparently there are locations that will show you every single one of these without you having to brute force it. But I'm going to brute force it. Yeah, so we'll do that puzzle after this. I give and bequeath to my grandnephew Simon P. Jones, son of my dear niece Mary Matthew, all the rest, residue, and remainder of my estate and of my right, title, and interest in, and to the house and land which I own near Mount Holly, as a token of the cordial and affectionate friendship for which nearly a half-century his grandmother, Clara Epson, has shown me. The above provision and bequest is contingent on my aforementioned grandnephew discovering the location of the 46th room of my 45-room estate of Mount Holly. This room, among other things of value, holds the physical deed to the entire estate, as well as many other personal effects and policies of insurance. The location of the room has been kept a secret from all the staff and servants of the manor, but I am confident that any heir worthy of the Sinclair legacy should have no trouble uncovering its whereabouts within a timely manner, and there's the pun. That's why you don't have a time limit in the game. Should my grandnephew fail to uncover this room or provide proof of his discovery to the executors of my will, then this gift shall lapse, and the above clauses on this page and provisions pertaining to that clause shall be considered null and void, and the rest of my estate shall be disposed of and gifted to the Arindian Heritage Foundation, under condition that the house be immediately winnowed and sealed with explicit instructions and allowances that the site shall not be reopened until black flags are once again flying over Oris, or 110 years have passed since my death, whichever day shall come first. So the thing about failing to uncover the room provide proof, it's this puzzle I just solved that actually provides proof, which is why people say, hey, once I discover room 46, why doesn't the game actually end? I need to provide the proof, which comes with the deed, and in order to do that, I need to solve this puzzle. So technically, this is where the game should end, although there is one more big thing we can do. As well, this thing about if I don't solve the puzzle, then this place needs to be sealed. Well, the reason for that is Herbert doesn't want people snooping around and finding all of the other stuff around here that hints at his involvement in the theft of the Ruby Crown, as well as sort of this attempt to establish a new political party through me, Simon P. Jones, as the Blue Prince. And so after 110 years, obviously everyone involved would be dead, and so would no longer be able to be persecuted for their role in the crimes. Or if black flags are flying, it means Fenarius has fallen, and once again. So basically he's putting this clause in here to protect me, as well as anyone who could potentially be incriminated in the events of the game. As one final gift to my grandnephew Simon P. Jones, regardless of whether he finds room 46 or not, I leave and bequeath to him the original manuscripts of his mother's works that were produced here under the roof of her childhood home. I just jumped a line in the reading. These preliminary draft copies include Red Prince, which she wrote while visiting the estate during the brightest of her days, and A New Clue, which she penned here during the darkest. So we've already read the final versions of those books, but the original manuscripts we have not read. I hope that in due time and in the natural order of things you will come to be content as I have with what little of herself she left us. In witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand this 18th day of March, 1993, Herbert S. Sinclair. So this is about 6 months before I actually started the game. So yeah, this last will sort of reveals to us some things that we only could have guessed at before, why all this weird stuff happening. But there is this order we want to remember. Orinda, Lydia, Rina, Joya, Dowager, Vea, Mila, Draxus. That's what we'll do. We might have enough steps. We would have to get there and also draft the tomb in the outer room. Let's see if I can get lucky with... Oop, frame rate drops. See if I can get lucky with a foundation pole. Maybe get a dining room. That's not super lucky. Planetarium will give me an apple, but that's not lucky either. Storeroom's not going to be... What I'd want is steps, really, is the thing I'd want. So, without getting steps, the best thing to have is rerolls, which I could get from this, potentially. I doubt it. I would have to get the immediately, which I removed. Yeah, I'd have to do these things. Set dice to 2. I could draft a shop room. I would have to get back into the house to do that. Because I don't have any keys now. Oh, I could do this and see if I get a shop room. Set my dice to 2. Let's try. Shop room. Remove from today's pool. Nope. This will at least give me some steps. No, it'll just give me back the steps I lose. But I do have a shovel. So there is a chance to get something from the dig spot. Nope. Worth a shot. I actually got extra steps because the apples are extra delicious today. Let's head back down. Alright, we have to just roll a tomb. We just have to roll a tomb on the outer room. If we don't get the tomb, we have to wait till tomorrow. I might have enough steps to try something. I doubt it. I don't think I have enough steps to try it. I would have to get... yeah, I'd have to get all the way up here, make a room here, and then come back with dice. I don't think I'll have enough steps to do that. Because I'd have to get into the tomb, which costs another step. Not unless I get, like, a dining room. Because I have been to rank 8, so if I were to roll a dining room anywhere, I would be fine step-wise. So I have 14. It's going to be 13 soon. It's going to be 13 when I cross into there. So if I went in here, it'd be 13. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Yeah, I would have to literally draw a dining room as one of these, and that would not be helpful. So what we're going to do is we're just going to YOLO it and see if we get the tomb without needing the dice. If I'd kept the die, probably would have been the better choice. I would have had a much better shot at getting the tomb, but it still wouldn't be 100%. The fact I haven't drawn the tomb in a while means I might get it? No. Oh, wait, hold on. I can use my stars. We're just going to do that. We have to use 2 stars, but we get the tomb. Okay, so what's the order again? I'm going to pull up my file here. Orinda, Lydia, Rina, Joya, Dowager, Vea, Mila, Draxus. So Draxus is the god of death. That is not in this room. He's downstairs. So what we're going to see instead is the ones we know. So we know that Mila is the maid. So that's going to be here. That's Mila. Orinda's first. That's you. Rina is the gardener. Joya is the cook. Vea is the chimney sweep. Mila's the maid. So we need the writer and the farmer. I'm going to guess that this one is Lydia. That's my guess. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, then we come back and do it again. I actually forget which one is which, to be honest. Rinna is going to be the gardener, which is this one. Joya is going to be the cook, which is over here. Dauja, I'm guessing, is our good old riding crop lady, which is over here. Thea is our chimney sweep. And then Mila is the maid. So now let's try Draxus, who's going to be down in the secret passage. And if we're wrong, then we try again with the other set. But we're not wrong, because I'm right about everything. Oh wait, no, that's not the secret. That's the regular one. Oh, I am wrong. Okay. No, wait. Did I get that? That was just that passage. No, I needed a different passage to open up. So let's bring that guy back up. And let's try again. Maybe I had other ones wrong. Maybe Lydia is the writer. Let me raise all these up again. Or maybe I had these ones wrong. This one still should be Rinna. That's the gardener. Joya, I know, is this one. I know that's Vea. I know that, or I don't know that one. I know that's Mila. So let's try the other way around. So Arinda's first. Let's guess that Lydia's the writer. Let's guess. No, we don't have to guess the next one. Should be Rinna, should be here. Rinna, Joya. Then Dauja will be the farmer. Then Vea. Then Mila. Okay, maybe that's not right. That feels wrong somehow. I've genuinely forgotten this one. So now I just feel like a big idiot. And then Draxus. Oh, okay, that one is right. I just had the two backwards. Alright. So these are the two original manuscripts of the books. So this is the original manuscript of Red Prince. There was a red prince who sat on a red throne. He had a red crown of rubies and a red castle made of stone. The prince had a love for all things red. It's the only true color, the prince often said. He could not stand the sight of a canary or a crow. He could not stand the white of a swan in the snow. And he never looked up for fear of the view. He had heard that the sky was not a red hue. He didn't see the birds or the changing of the leaves, and he never saw the sights of life's many symphonies. He couldn't see beyond the red shade, he was aware. He never caught a glimpse of the world I had to share. But one day the prince saw something new, and if you look closely, you might see it too. The skies parted and the clouds withdrew. The prince had a new favorite color, the color blue. So this is the version of the story that was read to us as the first ending of the game. This is the original version of Red Prince, which was rejected for being too political. And it's made obvious with these things with their with the sort of cores on them. So canaries are yellow, that's the color of Arch Aries. It's the idea that he loved red, which is Fen Aries, but then he stopped loving red and he loved blue instead. Now, blue is not related to any particular country or realm so far. It's the idea that blue is the new one that we're going to create. But, you know, the publisher was like, we're not going to print anything that could potentially be seen as negative towards Fen Aries, so they rejected this version, and the version we found in the nursery was the one that was actually published. But otherwise, this doesn't help us solve the puzzle at all. So here's the original new clue. All he needed to find was a new clue. If you found a new clue, you would know what to do. If you knew what to do, he'd likely tell you, for you were looking for a new clue. Route instead. How many memos should be visible? He had retraced his sketches and studied the files, rewritten his theories, and gone through the piles of the evidence shown to nobody known, and retraced his steps as it stretched on for miles. Dead herrings. Double check with Kirk about documents. So This is sort of proof that this book was written specifically to give hints that I used to solve puzzles here. Like, she's making sure that the stuff in here is in fact helping me solve things. So depart, because that's the word we use to solve the puzzle using the words Route 8, depart, etc., etc. Suspect list needed will add in final illustration. He had looked high and low in all the rooms. He had searched every corner in all the tombs, for in his case he had checked every space. If he found a new clue, he'd know what to do. And this tells us the plan for the sentence here. Note to publisher, insert small case numbers barely visible between the marked words above. Swap the king with the rook. This is your hint for the castling puzzle if you didn't figure it out already. Too much overlap with clue in the secret passage. Yes, if you get the magnifying glass out here, you can see two O's there. It's hard to tell what the other letters are. This is an S and this is a T. But if you get the note in the secret passage, you see other things. So you don't actually need this to solve the in Ares court puzzle, but this is a further clue to the letters and where they go. But you would need to solve the 8 realms in 8 months and come down here with a magnifying glass. And it tells you that there's a hint in the secret passage in case you haven't found it yet. But we found it just because of how brilliant I am and suave and virtuous and things like that. So he looked and he looked under beds and in nooks. Too obvious. He questioned the maids, he questioned the cooks. It was already over when he spoke to the chauffeur, who told him new clues were found only in books. Replace fork with something connected to 10. I don't remember if this clue is helpful, but, you know, she's doing something there. And tome after tome that the library loaned and the books that he already owned were searched from their covers all the way through. If he found a new clue, he'd know what to do. A new clue, Uncle Aw. So this is the ciphers, in case you don't get it yet. Cuckoo 2. I don't know if this solves a puzzle, but it could be a reference to the cuckoo clocks that our uncle gifted to apparently his bratty nephews he doesn't like. He changed all the letters and the lines that he found. He checked all the colors for each key that he wound. He doubled the meaning of each seasonal greeting and found that the diction of each word was sound. So, yeah, these, I guess, could be clues, but not really. Remove. I think remove this was removed. The denoted in verse is a note we found in the music room. It turns out there's several notes in the game that are anagrams of each other. Denoted in verse is also does it never end, which we found in the ladyship's chamber. It doesn't solve the puzzle, it's just extra things. It's cool. He stayed up all night and studied the maps. He laid out the floor plans and measured the gaps. And if his directory was a trajectory, it was nothing short of a full mental lapse. From what I was told, I believe Margle's directory is currently 22 rooms short of completion. No cause for concern yet, as Uncle has thankfully removed pump room from the draft pool. So Margle is Bon Margle, who is the inspector. We know who he was because he left the note in the censored version of the history of Arinda Ares. Because apparently the inspector asked for the book, and Herbert gave him the censored version as a middle finger. So Bon Margle is the person who's investigating, I think, the heist that Mary pulled off. And so, of course, all of these clues are being put together in such a way that me, Simon P. Jones, is going to solve all of the puzzles, but not Bon Margle because he doesn't have certain necessary pieces of information. And this is your clue, the entrance hall. You're supposed to smack this with the hammer. That's really the only clue you get there. A man obsessed and cuckoo, too, they would say as he would wander through. The best medicine is not yet evidence. If he found a new clue, he'd know what to do. And having read this so many times, having scoured over each of the lines, have you exhausted your search? Have you seen all the signs? 1 per page. So another hint for this, if you didn't figure it out before. 1 per thing. Show the entire route. That's important, I guess. Or is there perhaps something due, something overlooked, but now in view? Have you really found it? Could it finally be true? If it's a new clue, you'd know what to do. Typed, handwritten, typed. Remind Randolph to set this up before we leave. The suspect, I believe, is admin key. Suspect is admin key. But we already know an admin key, so we're not super worried about that. Remove sign from this final illustration because this is the wrong sign. This is the sign we wanted, which is the one that says on the way. It's hard to see here, but we saw it in the real book, so we know what that is. So yeah, this book contains extra clues, tells you how to read a new clue if you missed it, as well as a couple things you don't get in the original book. Actually, the main thing is this clue. There's also this. Those two things are new to this book. It also sort of reveals that the book was meant to taunt Von Margel, like it's mentioned here, Margel's directory, like he's investigating, but this book is like saying, well, if only Margel had a new clue, he'd know what to do. So that's what we're doing here. Um, yeah. So some people solve all the Sanctum keys and the 8 realms in 8 months and get down here and are very disappointed because it's just these 2 books. And the only thing these books do is provide a couple extra clues that aren't 100% necessary because we've solved all the puzzles using other clues and just some intuition. Some people solve them that way. So it really isn't a necessary puzzle to solve in order to get through the game. Most people will need it, though. Most people will not just instinctively figure out how new clue works. So it is a nice thing to have. But that's it. That's all we unlocked. That whole puzzle was just to get these 2 books. We don't actually get anywhere else from that. So that solves that. Do we have a break room to end in? We don't have a break room to end in. The only thing left to do is blue tents, which I'm not going to do now. I'm going to end the day. I don't have a place to end it, so let's end it here. So yeah, the next couple videos, I hope it doesn't take too long, but we're gonna aim for blue tents, and that's really all we're gonna do. And once we get it, the blue tents will give us something that'll help us with the puzzle going forward, which we could solve right now. It's just I am unaware of how to correctly solve this puzzle using the information we have without making some large leaps of logic, because we could have solved this puzzle a long time ago, long time ago, but there's a piece of information that blue tents will give us that gives it away. So we're gonna go for blue tents, but that's the only thing we have left. So I hope it happens in the next video. I hope it doesn't take days and days, but I'll see you there. So thanks for watching. Have a good day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.